Hello, friends and fiends. Welcome back to another Blood and Guts presents HauntOvision. With me, as always, Mad Matt. How's it going, Matt?
I'm doing fantastic, Evil Adam. It just feels good to be back into the studio filming, bringing this new segment to our friends and fiends. So we, like you said, it's the new HauntOvision. So go ahead and let them know a little bit more about this segment and what we're going to be talking about tonight.
Yep, this segment is going to be used to bring you haunts that are not HHN related kind of haunts. So right now we're covering some in North Carolina, and we're also going to cover ones in other states when we get the chance to do so. But right now we were lucky enough to be invited to Lake Hickory Haunts in Hickory, North Carolina. And let me tell you, this place, this haunt event is awesome. And you need to do yourself a favor. You need to go check these guys out because they love what they do and they love to scare the hell out of you.
I couldn't say that better myself. What I remember commenting to you the night we were there, the energy that those scare actors brought, and like I said, how much they enjoyed it. It was refreshing because it took me back to when we first went to HHN all those years ago when it was more catering to your adult crowd 18 and up and not so much the teenagers now. Not sitting there trying to knock what they're doing now, right. But it was a little bit more rough around the edges back when we first started going to Halloween Horror Nights.
Yeah.
So this kind of took me back to that feeling. So it was actually very refreshing to be there because, I mean, if you ran from a scare actor, they chased you.
They would chase you, yeah.
And like you said, they would sit there and be peeking around corners and stalking you and hunting you. And,
yeah.
It was fantastic. I thoroughly enjoyed this one.
Yeah, and we want to give a quick special shout out to Ryan, who is the owner and director of the haunt, and his awesome team, his awesome staff. They treated us so well while we were here. They answered all of our questions. They made sure that we had a really good time, so that we could cover these houses for you. But yeah, just another quick shout out to them. They were awesome, and you can tell that just we sat down and talked to him just briefly. We didn't get to film that segment, but just talking to him in general, you can tell that this is a man who has a passion for haunt. He knows what he's doing. He knows kind of what his vision is, and his team are so great at bringing that to life. And you'll see that reflected in the sets and the characters. The characters themselves, they love to scare you. That's their job, and they love it. Just
piggybacking off that too, when we actually got to sit down and talk to Ryan, it was amazing hearing how creative he was in this process because you can tell he takes a lot of pride in the houses. Like, they may be homaging certain things, but they put their own special touch on it, and he does a fantastic job of creating those little misdirections in the houses, kind of like what you see at Halloween Horror Nights. But what's beautiful about this and what they've done is, since this is all from their own mind, it's basically like how me and you mostly love the original houses. That's exactly what this is from top to bottom. It's original pieces. Like I said, they may take some, maybe borrow some ideas from like some movie properties, but they make it their own thing,
right? And
do a fantastic job and knock it out of the park with it.
And these houses are totally immersive, and so much to the point that there were times where we were going through them, and there was no one behind us. There was no one in front of us. It was just us. And I would turn around, and there would be not only a character stalking us, or a team of characters stalking us, who would then reappear later. It's going as far as to like call out our names during the haunt. And so total immersion. Horror nights are kind of conga line through. You got 10, 20 people front behind you. Not here. If you get lucky enough, you are on your own, and it kind of builds on that fear and that misdirection like you were talking about. So that was just really great. And so for this event, there's a huge midway with games and foods and that type of stuff, and there's also
it's like your holding area before the event actually starts, because before we move down to the next areas, like you're talking about, it's almost like how you would think of Halloween Horror Nights, a scare zone. The scare actors are there. You got the fog rolling in. But something I definitely have to mention too is if you're there in time for it and you see it, the opening ceremonies themselves is a fantastic spectacle, and we got footage of that from beginning to end of it, and we'll post that as its own separate video so you can get a taste of it. And I know you'll sprinkle it in as we're talking about. Like I said, just keep your eyes open for that, because we'll definitely have that put up. But I thought they done a fantastic job with the opening ceremonies and seeing those actors just with that energy we talk about again, coming out there just excited to be there. They want to be there. They want to scare you.
Yeah, and this is just, it was so hard to pick for me personally, and I know for you as well, my favorite house, because you go through them all. You know, there's no breaks in between. Right. You go through them, and they get you. And for me, it was hard to pick my favorite one. We're going to go through the list of these shortly, but as far as like picking a favorite, I really can't pick a favorite. I like them all. I do have some that I really, really loved.
I've got 3 that I can actually say are my favorite. Like you said, yeah. I loved them all. But when we talk about them, I'll mention what the 3 that really stand out to me, and I'll mention why. But like you said, there's just a lot to unpack with it. And I know we're not really going to do a ranking like we do with the HHN videos, but like you said, it just what doesn't do it justice enough to talk about how fantastic these houses are. And if you do plan on going there with friends and things, if you're in the western North Carolina region and can make it to Lake Hickory Haunts, it takes about an hour from start to finish once you begin going through the houses. And like Evil Adam said, it is in succession, so once you start, there's no breaks. You're walking right through it. And if they know you're scared and they get the word out, you're going to be in for a rough time.
It's definitely really intense, and I love the intensity, and I love the intensity these characters bring. And even the Ryan, who's the owner himself, you know, will act as a character. That's how much the man is dedicated to his craft.
See, I love that.
So that just shows you, you know, his passion for not only building sets, writing stories for the houses, but actually acting them out as well. So
it was impressive too, because when we asked him when we sat down and talked, have you ever been to HHN? Because there's a lot of stuff in these houses that kind of remind you how a HHN house would be.
Right.
And he's never been. But like I said, the misdirection that he uses, you would think he would be. But there's also vendors that he works with to bring this alive. That's the same vendors HHN works with. So you kind of get that feeling. And what stands out to me is the fog. You knew exactly where that fog come from, and he lit up when you brought it up.
Yep, froggy fog, and it's got its own. They make sense. They make fog. It kind of goes hand in hand. But you know when you get in there and you smell the fog, you're in it.
Yeah.
And from the moment we walked into the event, the characters were just wanting to be up in your face, scaring the hell out of you.
Yes.
And that I absolutely love.
Me too.
So let's go ahead and start kicking it off with kind of the layout of the event itself. What do you want to start with here?
Well, we talked about the midway and how that's essentially like your holding area before you go down to the event. But whenever you make your way down, you go through this little ghost town, which is essentially another scare zone before you get to the main event. Because the way they have this broken up, they have like their VIP section, they have an express section, then they have the regular gate for people to get through. But just starting with the ghost town, I personally thought that was amazing sets. Like, you know, it had a saloon where it was another concession area where you could buy drinks, some chips before you go in. Had photo opportunities there. More scare actors to come in and mug for you and kind of stalk you in the night. And most of them were dressed for the period of being in a ghost western town.
Old West ghost town. And, you know, and we'll put some footage in right here where you can see these actors really taking pride in this old West town that they have built here. To kind of, I guess it kind of beckons you in, if you will, to this event. But then moving down from there, you move into the Nightmare Factory. Which just the facade alone is very intense. You have interactive characters at the beginning who will ask you questions, who will engage with you. You know, you don't just stand in line and then walk in. These actors are there to get you pumped up and get you scared at the same time before you go in.
And this is not a knock on Halloween Horror Nights, because I know they're doing things to make it easier on their scare actors, because they're going to be there from 6 o'clock in the evening until 2 o'clock in the morning. But it's not a scripted piece. It's not they're going to hit the foot pedal on the audio play. Like I said, these scare actors here are doing everything off the cuff to try to scare you and personalize it for you.
It's very much like a stage theater. It's like an acting troupe, if you will, and they're all great at what they do. So this haunt is very much, the Nightmare Factory is very much I'm going to say part evil
laboratory,
asylum / laboratory / labyrinth. The walls are very tight. It's dark. I mean, they're coming after you in this one. You know, the smells are in there. It's you know. They went hard on this one.
Well, what I loved about this one too is, like when we were talking about the scare actors, that one of them is like, hey, follow me here. We're going to test your eyesight. So he's got you looking a certain way. And then the classic drop panel comes down and scares the crap out of you. Like I said, I thought that was well done.
Oh, yeah.
And then you mentioned like the mazes in this house where all of a sudden I'm going into one room and I open a curtain. There's a scare actor right there just to scream in my face to let me know I'm going the wrong way. She didn't tell me I'm going the wrong way. I just knew I can't get through there.
Because, us noobs, we went the wrong way a few times.
Right.
But yeah, that zone, or excuse me, that house was really, really well done. And it kind of flows you out into the lair of the undead, which is a series of mausoleums. And by the way, friends and fiends, let me go ahead and just tell you also, we did not film in each of these houses, although we could have selfie style,
right?
But we just mostly wanted to immerse ourselves into it and just feel what it was to experience it firsthand. So you're not going to see a whole lot of footage from inside. We recommend you experience it for yourself.
Yeah.
But this one, it was definitely a mausoleum of corpses and caskets and crypts, and it was really great.
It was well done. It was laid out like you're talking about the immersiveness. Like I felt like I was in a mausoleum. You see the casket handles waving up and down, the lids kind of coming up and down. So that team done a very good job designing this house and setting up those mechanisms to make you think that the corpses are just trying to bust through those caskets to get out.
Yeah, and like we said, it's a free-flowing haunt. So then after you move through the layer of the undead, you're great. Almost like a New Orleans above-ground cemetery. Then you move into the Voodoo Bayou. And this one is actually elevated in the tree line. So you're up in the trees. You're walking on platforms. Down below you, you can see, way down you can see the ground and the foliage. But this one you're in, it really felt like a New Orleans voodoo, kind of like priestess, I guess you would say, house, And
this is one where I was pleasantly surprised that they actually had a couple animatronic alligators that would pop out at you and all those good stuff. And I was like, man, the production values of this is pretty good.
Yeah, and keeping with that theme as you move through this one, you're in the tree line. You kind of move down and there's a sandy beachhead area. Right by Lake Hickory. So you're going through, this one is Shipwreck 2.0. So now you have dead pirates and
that might be where I see the alligators. I might be getting ahead of myself.
That was the one. And caves with treasure. And the pirates they're undead and they're evil. They're coming after you. This one was really great because I remember the character that got you was posing as a dummy. Yeah. A mannequin, if you will. And did kind of this leaning on a barrel or something and kind of.
What are you doing on my boat?
Yeah, it came to life and got you. And it is sandy. I mean, so you have actual elements, where your feet are like, okay, this is actual sand. So you're on this like beachhead area. You're going through there, and that then brings you to Aquaphobia, which is on the Lake Hickory, on the water itself. This was one of my favorites. I did love this one. Very Creature from the Black Lagoon, a lot of mutated fishermen and type of things like that.
It's one where you're kind of walking on the docks too and kind of
the
shift
docks
a little
are
bit.
Swaying. They will also manipulate your mind with swaying floors, drop floors, drop ceilings, and kind of like moving over the docks. Yeah, and it's real rickety like. Yeah. So that was really cool. A lot of great characters in here, and I love a fisherman theme type of village anyway. Right. Like give me that Lovecraftian theme of undead fishermen and creatures with gills and shit, and I'm all about that. So.
And they, I mean, like I said, they look great. The costumes look great. The makeup looked great. I mean, they had a lot of good foam latex masks, so when you had them on, you actually articulate and move with your face and stuff. So, well, it was very, like I said, it was very well done. Like I said, it looked fantastic, totally immersive. Just enjoyed myself in this one.
Yeah, and your heart is going because you're walking, you're getting physical exercise, as well as getting the hell scared out of you. Right. So you keep on going through, and then you get to. Extinction 2.0, which is an alien theme, like kind of like the movie The Thing by John Carpenter, right? Where you're in an alien laboratory, and they all blend together seamlessly. Yes. I mean, right now, just hearing us explain it, you're like, well, how do you go from the swamp to that, kind of thing? Yeah. Well, just go experience it for yourself, and you're kind of in this aliens lair. With all these test tube
dark
aliens.
Foggy.
Oh yeah, purple, a lot of purple lights, a lot of blue lights. And here's where the characters really started to like stalk you. Yeah. So they would stalk you, and then you would turn around to see if they were still stalking you. They're gone.
Mm-hmm.
And then later they reappear right in front of your face.
Yep, because they know that layout well, so they can get ahead. That was, like I said, that was one good touch for them, because they get ahead of you then and really get you again. Because, like you said, you're looking behind you, like where they go, and then you turn around, boom, they're right in your face.
They're right in your face. So this one was great, which leads you to the aftermath section of the house, which is very much an apocalyptic. Everything's gone wrong. Very much a cannibalistic apocalyptic, escape from New York style. A lot of this one you go through a couple of buses.
Yeah.
That are torn apart. So you're having to crouch down a little bit. They're coming at you from all sides.
And they're on top, reaching the hand down. Like I said, that was well done.
Yeah, they're coming at you from all sides in this one. Which then leads to probably my favorite one of all of them, even though, like I said, all of them are awesome, is Nature's Revenge.
So this one actually is in my top 3. I mentioned this one's my second favorite.
Yep.
And like I said, you get that little Shop of Horrors vibe when you see this. You see like the plant pods. Mm-hmm. You got the doctor in there saying, "Help me! She's in there. She needs help. Help her."
You have mad scientist who's experimented on plants. It's gone wrong, and these plants are huge. And we don't want to spoil it, but there are some huge, awesome animatronic in this house. And so talking to Ryan, this was the new one.
Right, one of the new
ones.
We
have two new ones for this year, and this is one of them. We'll get to the other one in a little bit. But this house was just the smells, the sights.
It's just beautiful house.
It was a beautiful house. If you like Little Shop of Horrors and biology and all this kind of stuff like we do, you are going to love this.
And mayhem.
and mayhem and blood, of course. So coming through Nature's Revenge, you then go into the descent, which, as Ryan told us, is actually underground.
Yeah, and I cannot remember how deep underground. I want to say it's at least 20 or 30 feet underground that you're walking.
Yeah, maybe even more than that.
Yeah, and like I said, this one was well done. This is the one where you're going to have to crouch in certain places and walk, and this one's dark.
It's dark, and it's like you're in a Kentucky coal mine.
Right.
In places. It's very much a mine.
And they got the sounds playing. Like I don't really remember a lot of scare actors in this one. I just remember sounds, and you worried about scare actors getting ready to pop out for you.
Yeah. And it's dark and damp, just like you think a cave or a mine would be. And so then you're going through this, and you come out, and you're in this magical evil circus. Yeah. The Big Top Circus.
This one's actually my favorite one, because I was totally getting... I mean, I don't know if he's really homaging it or not, because I know a lot of the stuff you can see the posters and kind of see what he's going for. I can't remember what this poster was, but for me, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, that's the vibes I was getting for this one.
Very much so. It smells of cotton candy and popcorn.
Well, you had that whole room of cotton candy just lit up, beautifully lit, like you just got those neon colors going, the smell of cotton candy, the deranged clowns chasing after you, and you got one of his original characters, Boss Clown, in this house. Fantastic.
It was great, and you'll get smells of these. You'll get blackout tunnels. This one, some of the other ones prior, like especially the apocalyptic ones, had blackout tunnels. Some of them have the revolving tunnel, which completely disorientates me.
Always does me too. I'm always leaning to a side.
Yeah, and when I get out, I feel like I've been on a ship, kind of thing. But yeah, the Big Top Circus was great. The clown actors are all up in your face.
Yes.
They are all about getting you in this house, especially Boss the Clown.
Yes.
And his laboratory. We won't give away what is in Boss's laboratory.
Right. And I mean, a fun fact about this one, though, Boss used to be for years played by the owner, Ryan, before he's moved on to his new character.
Right. But we won't give away what's in the laboratory, but when you get there, you are going to love it.
Yeah.
If you're a fan of any kind of old school horror, and just mayhem, you are going to love it. And that brings you out to the final house area, the second new house area, the chop shop, which is almost like you're in the same genre of the Leatherface Texas Chainsaw, kind of evil inbred cannibal mutant clan.
Right.
And this one is, you can smell the chainsaw fuel in this one. You can smell the rotted meat.
Yeah.
And they are all up in your face in this one.
I know one of the characters' name was Razor, and like he was perfect. He looked like perfect type of person who could play Leatherface with this, and he was very in character. And he's like like he was on Red Bull the whole night. He just done a good job scared. Come out with that chainsaw, done a fantastic. This is everything, honestly. Like we had the house Triplets of Terror. I didn't hate Triplets of Terror, but this is kind of like what I wanted it to be more like.
Exactly.
More gritty.
Yeah, more gritty and more in your face, and you just wandered into a junkyard / meat processing cannibal factory, and now you're going to get it.
You think of that one scare actor that just come out, doesn't even say a word, and he doesn't even have to. He's so intimidating.
That guy is so big and intimidating and scary, and these actors are intense, and that is awesome. That's what you want with a haunt. And so this one definitely delivered everything we wanted, and just what a great experience this whole event was.
Yeah.
And after you get out of the chop shop, it kind of brings you back around into the ghost town area, and I'm referencing the map here. They provide you with a really cool map of the event. So you back into the ghost town.
HHN used to do that.
Yeah, we used to get paper maps. Not no more. And but yeah, you get back into the ghost town area, and you can do selfies and photo ops.
Yeah, get scared by scare actors again.
Scare actors are all over you again. So it's definitely a really awesome event, and we left the event. Feeling very awesome and just totally amped up because your heart's going the whole time because it's nonstop. So what we did was, as soon as we got out of the haunts, Friends and Fiends, we recorded a quick video for you just so we could capture that moment inside that moment, and we're going to cut to that right now.
There we go. Okay, Evil Adam, after coming out, what did you think about Lake Hickory haunts?
Great. All of it very impressive, very awesome.
Yes.
We're still in the park right now, and it is just very, very astonishing what they have done. I love it.
Yeah.
What about you, Matt?
Same thing. Like, I really love, they could do things that HHN cannot do. Like, they're more interactive with you in the hauses. They can really scare you that way more. I loved how they had the floors that would shake when you're walking on it. Just a lot to unpack here when we actually do the full review for this haunt. So
People are actually getting got in the background right now.
Yeah, so
that's what you need.
If you've never been to Lake Hickory haunts and you're in the North Carolina area, highly recommend it. Get out there and go support these scare actors. They've done a fantastic job.
That's right.
All right, Friends and Fiends, we're back, and that was us. As soon as we got out of the haunts and back to the ghost town area, we just wanted to capture that moment while it was still fresh.
Right. And as you can see, we enjoyed the houses, still enjoyed the houses after we had time to let it marinate, soak through, go back and look at the footages of what we did get up inside the houses, around the areas, all the scare actors. Just very impressed with this. This is more honestly, my wife has gotten on to me because for years she's wanting to go to this haunt, and I've always come up with some reason not to because I'm spoiled by HHN, the production values. But Lake Hickory does a great job because the haunt may not be open year round, but they're working year round. Like, you can tell
constantly working on this.
This is a labor of love for them, and they love what they do, and they do a fantastic job.
Right, and this is the kind of event where, we would like to go back this season, but if we can't, we're definitely going to go again next season because I can't wait to see what they do next. So do yourselves a favor. In that website, let me go ahead and that's lakehickoryhaunts.com. I'm going to put that up here on the screen for you. Give their website a view. They also are on all the socials, Facebook,
Instagram,
TikTok, Twitter, all that stuff. So go ahead and give them a check on there. But we cannot recommend this enough.
One thing when you go to that website, I do want to call out, we talked about how creative they are and original. They got a whole section dedicated to their original characters. And I encourage you to go take a look at them because, like you see, you'll see some great makeup jobs. You can see how much energy, just through the photos, how much energy they bring to their own characters and stuff. So fantastic job. Yep,
and I was actually checking out their YouTube page as well. And you can go onto their YouTube page and you can see them. Let's say behind the scenes in the summertime, they're here, they're building a new haunt. So they actually have, footage of them constructing the haunt and what goes into that. So that's really, really interesting. If you're into the behind the scenes stuff like we are, it's very awesome.
Yeah.
But as always, Friends and Fiends, once again, before we end though, we would like to shout out Ryan and his amazing team and his amazing staff. They care about what they do. They treat their guests really, really well. And so go check them out at Lake Hickory Haunts. And you got any closing?
As always, make sure you like and subscribe to our channel. Leave a comment. Have you been to Lake Hickory Haunts? If so, let us know what you thought about it. If you've not been, are you going to go? Especially if you're in the North Carolina area. So, like I said, just let us know. And
as always, stay spooky.